Well, you both mentioned it was a long journey to get to where you are today. Can you maybe describe like the ups and downs and like the aha moment that you got to where you're like, okay, this is working. We kind of figured it out. I'll start with Luke.
For me, I mean, my biggest problem when I was first starting to trade was I was too keen to trade all the time. For a long time, I was only ever interested in day trading, and spending so much time in front of a computer screen staring at the markets, trying to be involved in as many things as you can be, especially when you're used to doing something productive, it's just awful because you're just searching for trades, and if after a while you've not found anything, it could be a couple of hours, which is a long time to be sat there doing nothing. You end up forcing these trades, and that's what was really destroying my progress, really. It wasn't until I just slowed down and actually looked at what was detrimental to my account over like a 6 month period or a year period, where it was these stupid trades where they didn't really fit what I was trying to do, or you could see that I'd forced it. Maybe I'd just been stopped out or something, and I've jumped straight back in because it's going to look like it's going to carry on going the original way you thought it was going to go. There was loads of these silly mistakes, and I don't think there's anything revolutionary about the aha moment or anything like that. It was just working through these simple fixes to get to a point where you're just, I mean, you still make mistakes now and again, but making them less to a point where they stop having a huge impact on your performance, really.
Yeah, I definitely see that. Patrick, what would you say for yourself?
So it's a funny thing with aha moments. I've probably had 1,000 of them, and they none of them actually came true in the end. You always think you have found the secret cheat code to unlock the game, and really when you actually do, I guess come to a point where you're consistently successful, it's not even an aha moment. It's very muted. It's not even this big explosive feeling, because especially if you've failed as many times as most of us have, you always have this creeping dread that it could always come back, and this might not be it. Even if you've been consistently profitable for a long time, you always know it could fall apart at any moment. So you really don't have supreme confidence in anything you do, which is why you really just have to create a system and stick to it. And it just, I don't want to say hope, but just understand that it's gotten you this far. It's probably going to take you 3 to 5 more years, and then you reevaluate. It's really as simple as that. So my aha moments, were many, but none of them turned out to be anything. So, and it's funny what Luke said too. I'd gone through the same thing, only I would argue worse, because I but I spent the last 15 years in Las Vegas, which is on Pacific Standard Time. So I would get home from my restaurant job at about 11 or 11:30 at night, catch the London Open at about midnight, trade until 6 in the morning, go to bed with anxiety because major USD news had just come out and I had no idea how it was going to affect my trades. Wake up at 2 in the afternoon and then get ready to go to work at 4. It was a terrible way to live. I was unhealthy. I was just a mess. And I said there has to be a better way than this. And so then I started going off the daily chart, and I realized everything was better that way anyway. So that was a big change. But yeah, there was no one great aha moment, and 11 years down the road, there still isn't. I just keep doing what works, and it just doesn't work all the time, but long term it does. So that's all you got to go with.
I guess all those. Sorry.
I was just going to add. Patrick made me think of it. I guess the biggest, and I can't call it an aha moment, but it's realizing why you're second guessing certain things when you start trading, because he's right. Like you say, you are almost waiting for this to go wrong again, like it has done, because history's taught you that, okay, this period's gone well, it's going to go wrong at some point. But when you start asking yourself, well, why is it going to go wrong? And what are the reasons that are going to make this trading performance be bad? And if it is just the statistics of the strategy you're using, that's so much easier to rationalize with yourself than this unknown quantity that could come and wreck your trading. And I think once you start to understand that this does just boil down to numbers essentially, and you can have periods you can't do anything about it. You're going to lose money. It just becomes easier to sit with, and the problems that come from second guessing yourself or getting bored or whatever it may be, they're just easier to control once everything starts to click a bit more with the trader, I guess.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think really those aha moments really come down to not even thinking you just beat the game, but down to knowing what you did wrong and recognizing failure. Because I've been a business owner for a while too. Every time you fail, you just get stronger, because unless you're an idiot, you realize, that's a mistake that I'm never going to make again. Therefore, I just became a lot stronger in the process. And traders have to go through that process a lot, and they don't realize that, so they have to learn the hard way. But once you've really put a good 4 or 5 years in this, you've had so many of those failures it becomes a lot harder to fail down the road. So I would kind of change my answer a little bit. I think that would really be what I consider to be an aha moment.
Yeah, there's nothing to humble you like the markets. Just ask arch egos, right? There's only you can throw as much money as you can at it, and you still can be wrong. So I think it's part of like the evolutionary process. Like trading is kind of like evolution at its work, where you have to learn danger and you have to learn from your mistakes, and each scar is a lesson. And the more scars you have, the more lessons you have, and the better hunter you'll be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scars are sexy.
Yeah, there you go.